The Sporlan division of Parker Hannifin proudly sponsors the Advanced Refrigeration podcast. The Sporlan S3C series of case control products provides safety, security, and service for remote and self-contained refrigerated display appliances. The S3C family of controls includes a case controller, display module, and a valve module that all support open protocol communication via BACnet and Modbus. The peer-to-peer system is capable of standalone or coordinated control of up to 8 refrigerated cases per lineup. Using this family of controls simplifies and shortens the time required to set up new equipment or retrofit an existing system. Ask your local refrigeration wholesaler about the Sporlan S3C series. Parker Sporlan, leading the charge.
This episode is sponsored by United Refrigeration and Westermeyer Industries, revolutionizing your HVACR experience. Visit URI.com for all your HVACR needs, offering real-time inventory, personalized pricing, and a nearby stock feature. Access quick pick replacement parts and branch details effortlessly. With 350 plus fully stocked locations across North America, our knowledgeable staff are ready to assist with the solutions you need. Exclusive offer. Use code ARPOD on URI.com to get a $10 gift card when purchasing the Westermeyer Oil Float part number W4300-38F. These high-performance floats are not just compatible with their own oil separators, but also available as a crossover model. Conveniently stocked at United Refrigeration. That's code ARPOD to claim your $10 gift card. Visit URI.com now.
Not look like retard this time.
Yeah, and I'm not half asleep.
Really? All right. Did you see what I named it? The preliminary title.
What?
We suck. Take 2. You're such a dick. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Advanced Refrigeration Podcast. You're the host, Brett Wetzel and Kevin Compass. How you doing, man?
I'm not half asleep and half dead from working a million hours. A lot better.
Yeah, we tried this once before and it failed miserably. This is like one of those ones that the ones that we did this week, what was it, 2 days ago? Just it's never going to see the light of day, ever.
Like one from Florida.
One from Florida. That was awful, which I don't highly remember. So, how was your week, though?
Semi-stressful, and I was doing a microthermal change out. It went decently well, except for a broken wire at the end of one of the days of the changeover that literally made everything go south, and we were there for 3 extra hours trying to find this because somebody rewired a bunch of stuff, and basically half the EPRs in the rack didn't have power.
Cool.
And I've never seen this before. Most Husband racks are the exact same. Like one wire feeds all the switches on the panel. Somebody took it upon themselves to rewire this, so half the switches were fed off a different wire. So I thought it was in the shutdown circuit they had because they rewired this and it wasn't wired how it's supposed to be. Everything was in black wire. Nothing was marked. So it ended up being that there was a blue wire nut in a bundle of about 130 wires.
Usually on the Husband, right? Like for anything, right? You have an EPR. The EPR comes from the switch. The L1 goes to the one side of the switch, or the lighted switch, goes out, and then comes back, and then goes back through the common of that, whatever it be, whether it be a neutral or another hot side. And that wasn't the way it was.
No, it was literally, so usually it comes off the A1 terminal block, and which is from the phase loss monitor, and it heads right to the switches.
Yes.
This got intercepted, went to a shutdown relay, except it went to another pile of wire nuts, then went back into by the A1 terminal block, then went back. It didn't tie into the terminal block. It went to another wire nut, then looped back again through there, all the way back to the other side of the rack to a terminal block onto a time delay relay in a bunch of wire nuts.
That sounds awful.
It was. I didn't find it till I literally started cutting every wire on the rack. I cut every zip tie that we just put on, and yeah, which I was fucking pissed because I spent like an hour doing it, and cut every zip tie, and then I started pulling on wires until I found that wire feeding them all. And I started pulling on it, it just started coming. I'm like, ah. So I pulled it all the way out. I'm like, all right, tonight it's getting wired into the terminal block like it shows from the factory. And in the morning, I'm going to rewire this whole shutdown circuit. So I put everything on terminal blocks, deleted all their 12 gauge black wire, ran it all in 16 gauge, made it all look nice, and made it so it's troubleshootable. Yeah.
After you ruined how pretty you made it.
Yeah, it looked better though in the end. I don't know. I was pretty happy with this job. We got a pretty good rhythm going with these now. And then I
thought you had a pretty good rhythm before.
We did, but now it's better.
Good.
I think I locked up the site supervisor on the desk.
Is it broken? You broke it?
I don't remember what I made the password.
See, I can't laugh because I actually recently, probably about a couple weeks ago, I ended up having to make a password file that has all the passwords for all the controllers that I have, for the very reason of oopsie. So like I did the same damn thing you just did, where I was like, oh yeah, I don't need to remember the passwords, and then you don't use it for a little bit, and then you go back and you're like, shit.
Yeah, that's how I am now. Like I have a Dropbox and I have an encrypted password file with everything in there because I can't remember all these damn passwords. I have passwords for logins for other stuff, for like customers and stuff. I can't remember all this shit.
Oh no.
And then these people with these ridiculous passwords, like all these EMS controllers, are like, why do we got to put supervisor in there? User pass work for forever. Like, why do we got to make it supervisor with a capital S and
lowercase u? And
yeah, like Danfoss when you first started up, and it makes you go
supervisor 50.
No. When you start up in 888, it wants a special password. Like it's got to be like supervisor, and then the password is got to have 10 characters. It's got to have special characters in there. And it's like shit.
There is a way to change that. There's a setting, and
you have to do it in the beginning.
Oh, for the very first one.
Yes, and then you can go back in. And then half the time, like I'm so fucking dyslexic and retarded that I forget what I change the password to. Like, so I make the password the same thing every time now.
Kevin, and then password is a badass with 3 exclamation points.
No.
Okay.
Right.
There's no explanation points in there. You got to have a special character in there. So I since you were talking about that Husband schematic, and I just so happened to be able to find one. So this is the one you were talking about. So instead of this coming from wherever it was supposed to, they rerouted it to wherever the hell they wanted.
It literally went from the far right panel of the rack, or from the far left panel of the rack, all the way to the right panel, then looped back around through another wire nut to the far left panel, then all the way back from the far left panel again to the shutdown relay to a bunch of wire nuts, then loop back again to the switches on the door.
Yeah, because here's your phase loss monitor. And then usually there at the phase loss monitor, they have that weird looking terminal block. And then the terminal block just passes that control power to every single switch. So like on this one, it's 5, 4, and 1, 2. And then the next one might be different for the next compressor circuit, and so on and so forth. Correct?
Correct.
But they had it all kinds of wackiness. Yeah,
yes.
Even these Paragon clock. Oh, no one uses Paragon anymore.
But lots of people use Paragon.
Nah, not a rack. Oh, okay. All right, maybe.
Not in a rack application, but.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so that was my week. I don't know. It wasn't all bad though.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I was just buttoning up a whole bunch of training stuff that I needed to get done. I don't know. We'll see what happens. You're a jerk. Anyway, tonight, I guess we're going to try to going over the E3 about making some custom tiles and stuff, trying to make your job a little bit easier. If you're trying to do a startup, certain things that you wanted to watch on the controller. So you can, okay, I want to see the suction pressure of this rack. I want to see the condenser task. I want this just all right in front of you. So we're gonna do that. So this is actually take 2. First one we totally screwed up. So let's try this again. Take 2.
Take 2.
Couldn't be worse than the podcast we did in Florida.
Why? That was your favorite podcast ever.
You're such a dick. Again, I don't know why you enjoy that so much. All right, so let's start off. So let's start from the home screen. So you can see we have refrigeration, all the other tiles right here. Refrigeration, low temp, medium temp. This was for a CO2 rack, but I gotta get some stuff so I can actually put an iProbe back up in here. And so let's add a tile. So let's see. I did it again. Settings, layouts. We're just going to do it. We're not going to do it. Where'd you go? Unbelievable. All right. I don't know. Let's go over to the edit. And now we can make, I don't know, let's get rid of this one, the we messed up one. So let's just say we're doing one for startup. So we can add a new one. Add one. What are you doing?
I'm trying to get the Danfoss controller to work.
Did you knock it off?
Typical. It doesn't want to do the Ethernet thing because it's Danfoss.
Gotcha. All right, so I named this one startup. So what do you want to add to this one, Kevin?
So let's put the flash tank pressure.
New? We can't because I have no flash tank. I'd have to do like a sensor control or something. Just pick easy stuff right now. I guess
Discharge pressure and drop leg pressure.
Okay. So just you want me to throw the whole suction in there?
Yeah. I guess so.
Here, I don't know, whenever you make a new one anyway, what it'll do is if I make a new suction control, I'm going to go back to the tile again, back to the home screen, and it should have made it, but you see how it threw it up in here. So as long as you're in edit, you should be able to take that whole suction group and throw it down into startup. So now we have that there. So let me ask you a question, Kevin. So if you were going to make just a custom tile for this, you usually do yours in a flexible combiner and then just add all the stuff into it?
Yeah, like I would usually do a flexible combiner with it and just add everything into it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how I was doing it in the beginning.
Okay.
But like with this, you could add a custom tile to have everything in there.
I don't give me where the option is for the custom tile, because we have this right here, right?
Yes, we have our startup tile. So like I would on this, you would just move it. You really don't need a startup tile on this. That's the thing. Like
because everything's there.
You could open everything up and have it there. But like you could make custom tiles for like custom things. So this Walgreens, we have pumps, and we have evaporator pumps. We have hot water pumps. We have everything in there. So we have custom tiles for that. You could make a startup tab and put those in there and move them back later.
Yeah, you could either do that or, like you said, set a bit of a little. So does it what? Where's the flexible combiner?
It doesn't want you to use it.
Are you freaking? No, there it is, right down there. Yes. Save my changes. All right. So now that I did that, then I have to go back to home. Refrigeration. Did it throw it down there? It did not. Where'd it go? Probably put it in alphabetical order up in low temp. Where'd it go? Medium temp. Did it not make it? CO2 group 1 condenser. I mean, another condenser, but where's the flexible combiner that I freaking just made? Oh, wouldn't it probably threw it in other, right?
It probably.
Yeah, there it is. There it is. So then I could actually, after I hit edit, then I could potentially take that flexible combiner that we intended to make for that, put that there, and then save. So now I have whatever suction group, CO2 pressure, so it looks to me is that you can't make a duplicate.
No,
You can't make a duplicate of something. So unfortunately, there'd be one of two things that you could do. Either you could do like a sensor control that has the separate thing that you're using for whatever, or like you said, use this flexible combiner here and then just pull all the data from there so you can actually go from there.
yeah, that's how you're going to have to do it. And if you want a custom tile, you're going to have to mirror it from whatever you're using. So if you're using the receiver pressure, like you may have to mirror it off of another thing on the analog sensor control. Just copy it if you're gonna make a custom tile like that.
All right, let's add some descriptions to some stuff, right? So we can go to edit. Let's just say we're making one for a regular. You want to do CO2 or you want to do a regular startup? We don't unfortunately know that.
Regular startup. Let's do that.
All right. So let's just say we're going to do suction pressure, and like having a good description on a lot of these is really crucial to make it easier for whoever's looking at it. If you have some generalized name and not really being descript on like where it actually goes, it's going to be a pain in the ass for other people to follow. So suction pressure, suction group 3. All right, and then another one we'll do discharge pressure condenser. I only have 2 condensers on here, but we'll do condenser 2. You can do, if you really want, you could do superheat. So you get superheat for, I'll just do this. Suction group 3. Copy. What else you want to put on here? Discharge temp.
Discharge temp, suction temp.
I can't spell. There's no spell check in this, by the temp. And then just group 3. So no matter what I'm doing, I'm just naming it off that it's in fact coming from what suction group that it's actually coming from. You want suction temp on there? I have suction superheat. You want me to still do the temp?
Yeah, do the temp also.
Okay. Suction temp. And then group 3. You can do a copy paste though. And I don't know, liquid temp group 3. I should probably just keep everything organized. Okay. So then bam. So if I save that, yes. And then if I go back to status, okay. Oh, so it won't show that unless I actually change the points, right? Unless I just put the description here for this right here.
Yeah, no, it won't.
All
you
right.
have to go. That's the only thing. You got to go with each one and put the description in.
I did, but you're saying the AI name right here.
Yes, you have to change.
Okay.
That's where it's confusing.
There's no undoing. Oh yeah, the undo works. Oh my god, I didn't know that. Control X, Control V, Control C, Control V, Control C, Control V. Can't believe undo actually works. Control Z is undo. Control C, Control V, and oh, we put this in DI. Oh no. Oh yeah, we did. Why is because I didn't give it. Okay, that's why. That's why I didn't give it. I got to give it more AIs. That's why. Input outputs. Where the hell is that? Is that in general? Yeah, right here. Number of AIs. Because we were doing some, I'm just going to do 6. Save that. And then go back to description. Okay, suction. And then all I got to do is just do this. Control X. Control V. Control X. Control V. Control V. There's our, now we have our 6 analog inputs. If we wanted to do
How'd you do that? Control V again. What the hell's Control V?
Control C is copy, Control V is paste,
Oh,
and Control Z is undo.
look at you, all fancy.
I mess with PowerPaint like a pro. All right, so also the other thing you could do with this, if you really wanted to, let's just say you want to do, I don't know, VFD percent capacity compressor 1 GRP 3. So then you basically, that analog output is going to be your capacity for that. And you could also, if you want, as far as a percentage on that, you could put your whole system capacity in there too, like the whole suction group capacity, because the suction group already usually gives that out. So you could really put that in there if you want. All right. So now that we did that, making sure that our English units are right. Oh yeah, save. So English units. So shit. All right, well, that kind of sucks because I forgot what order I did it in. So if we go back, so if we go back to the description, this is what's nice about actually doing this on the computer if you can do it remotely. Because now what I can do is I can actually copy this. So now I have a copy of what I actually made everything. So now I can go back over yonder, go back to the English units, bring up that screen again. So now I know that suction pressure is going to be pressure. Next one was suction pressure. So 2 suction pressures and a superheat to start. All right, so we can do pressure. And then the next one's going to be temperature, but it's going to be, I believe it should be a delta temperature. I think if you were to try to put, so it depends on how you're getting the information, right? If you do your own calculation for it, you have to do delta. If you're pulling it right from the suction group, do you have to do delta or do you have to do temperature, Kev? I don't remember.
Depends if what it is. Some of the values are in Celsius, some of the values aren't. So what I usually do, if you don't know and if you're not sure, just put it as degrees.
And then if it doesn't read, go back to it.
Yep. If it doesn't read, make it a delta. Like
All right.
usually superheat and stuff like that need to be a delta.
All right, so we got temp for the next 3, so that should bring us up to 6 then. Temperature, and then AO. Even though I have an extra one here, we're gonna do percentage. So that's what we want it to read in, and then save that. Always save it, and it'll show you like what's nice about doing this on the computer. Let's just say you were changing a whole bunch of shit, and maybe you didn't remember what you changed. Not that I recommend doing that, especially if you're doing tuning or whatever, but you can actually then take a screenshot of this and then you have it. And so if you're like, oh shit, that didn't work, and just sometimes what I'll do is I'll use a Word document to basically post all these changes in there that I have. So I have a record of what I did. And then what you can actually do is take a snapshot of the graph of what happened after, and then put that graph in there with your changes that you made. And then you can see, okay, when I did this, it did this. When I did this, it did this. So you have a record of what you're doing. Okay. All right.
That's the easiest way to do it.
What's that?
That's the easiest way to do it.
Yes, sir. Oh, so that sucks. So now we have to change these tile points here. So I think if we hit the wrench, I should be able to then change all this stuff. So that's outputs, analog outputs. Where's the analog inputs? English units? No. No. Oh, inputs right there. Bam, bam, and bam. And then you should be able to, if I'm not mistaken, pull it from the hamburger.
Correct.
And pull it up.
You can move it wherever you feel like on there.
Yep. So you could do, like you said, in whatever order that you want. Liquid temperature we'll worry about last. More importantly, you want to do probably percentage, suction pressure, discharge pressure. I have a suction superheat in here somewhere. Oh yeah, right here. Suction superheat, temperature, liquid temperature, discharge temperature. You can put them in however you want. All right, and then hit OK. And then if you don't want all the rest of this shit in here, you could get rid of it. Actually, let's do that because I want to see what the tile then looks like. Because I'm afraid if we have too much shit in the tile, it's going to be crowded. Oh, there we go. All right, hit OK. Hit save. Yes, sir. All right, so if we go to status, then it's basically, obviously it's going to say none for the time being. So let's see what the tile looks like now when we go back to the home screen. Let's go back to our startup tile, Flexi Combiner. There you go. So now you can see every bit of information that you put in that tile. That's why I said if you put way too much shit in there, that thing would probably drop that down, whatever. So if you want to make separate ones, then go right ahead. You can still pull that information for wherever you want. You just can't basically copy this suction group because you just can't.
It would be nice. So where this would actually be functional is the RX screen. So
today's episode is sponsored by the Refrigeration RDP series differential pressure monitors from Westermeyer Industries, now available for transcritical CO2 systems in addition to other common pressures and refrigerants. When the filter element of your coalescing oil separator is contaminated, it can hurt your system's performance and efficiency. But how do you know when it's time to replace that filter? Wait too long to replace, and you could end up with a nasty filter blowout. But replacing too often can be a waste of time and money. The answer is installing a differential pressure monitor. The RDP series differential pressure monitors, including the new transcritical CO2 model, are available now from Westermeyer Industries. To find out more information, email sales@westermeyerin.com. That's WESTERMEYERIN.com.
If you were to take the RX screen on there and set it up for startup with all that data.
Let's do that. Listen, so we already made a Flexi, right? We're going to change the name of it real quick. Start up Flexi. Okay. All right, save that. Because here, this is what we can do. We did save it. Go back to the home screen. If we go over to the gear and go out to layout manager, you can make your own layout. So I started on making a test layout, but let's just wrench on that one.
Yeah, let's make it a startup layout.
There we go.
This is where it would kill it at in doing a startup layout. It takes time to do this, but if you're doing a bunch of these over and over again, this is where it would kill it. Even at a startup layout, like I would still use it for service because this is the stuff that I want to see when I look at the controller.
All right, so they already have some other shit in here. Like I could take all this rest of this shit off, but then
that's literally what you want to see. So that would be, I would call it HPV control.
Refrigeration. Hold on. See, I thought it would be able to take the flexible combiner that we made. Can it not?
Change it from under category. Change your category.
Change your category. Other. Oh, that's right. Other. There we go. Flexible combiner. There you go. Smart guy. All right. So then we can do basically. See, I don't know if this is the flexible combiner that we were fudging with. No, it's not. This is, oh, here it is. Start. Ah, shit. Nope, I did it wrong. All right, let me go back. Gear, startup layout. So it has all of those things, right? But we wanted to add something else to it. So we can, oh, I made that big. I didn't know if we could shrink this thing down. No, it does not look like it. So edit. Yeah. Oh, that's the other thing too. So it's going to be, I think this is only viable for whoever is logged in. So if Kevin has a super secret password and someone else doesn't have said super secret password, then it's not going to give them essentially this layout, if I'm not mistaken.
That's why you got to really pay attention when you're doing this and make sure that you're actually setting these up the right way. Mm-hmm. And you're actually assigning it to whatever users need it to, because your login screen may be different than mine.
True. All right, so let's do other again. See, I wonder if analog descriptions. See, this sucks because I don't know where it's pulling. It's not really specifying what combiner it's pulling from. You know what I mean?
Is it only one under?
See,
So
that's what I'm saying. It just says flexible combiner. It's not really. It says analog combiner, digital combiner.
digital combiners, see, because there's got to be more than one digital combiner, I'm sure. Is it? Yeah, it's weird.
Do you understand what I'm saying? I just think
Is it under each one of the whatever's under those tabs? Go under refrigeration. See if there's
no. It
only
only the shit that goes under refrigeration.
click circuits. That's weird that it doesn't.
Yeah, because it doesn't. Because I think it should be able to give you what combiner, the option to circuit 1, circuit 2, circuit 3. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I was confused about. So if we do, I don't know, system, it's under system here. Oh, firmware. Yeah. See, I thought when you go to other, I thought the option would be basically, okay, it would have all the flexible combiners there. Flexible combiner 1, flexible combiner 2, flexible combiner 3. I guarantee we're going to get chastised from someone from Copeland watching us do this. Like, dummies. You're going to be yelling at the screen. You're doing it wrong. You got to go over here. I don't know. But let's just send it.
Click it, see what it does.
So when I clicked on that, it brought up. Oh, okay. Oh, that's okay. So look what it did. So I brought up AI English Units 1. So this is basically giving you all of the analog input ones on all of the flexible combiners that are in here.
Oh, and you could just tell which ones you want.
That's what I thought before, but when I clicked on it, no, it doesn't look like it. Because there, look. Because there's our. I'm really confused.
So it's switching them. Look,
because there's the startup one, right?
Yep.
And then I don't know what this arrow is doing. Pressure. Oh, I see what it's doing. It's switching in the direction of where I have it.
Correct.
So AI 3. Oh, so it's going to give you all of the. Oh, I think it's going to give you all of the flexible combiners. So that kind of, I don't totally like that. So we had 6 analog inputs that we made originally, right? And we had 1 analog output that should have been the percentage, right? There's our percentage. So our flexible combiner right here is all the way down here at the bottom. But I don't know if there's a way to basically, once we get this in here, to delete that. So let's just hit OK. There we go. Save. All right, so let's, you know what, that we might be able to do that once we go back to it. So let's go to gear, startup layout, blah, 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 blah. There it is. There's this. So I'm wondering if we could get rid of this. Can we move it? Or edit?
You should be able to. Yeah, you can delete it right there.
Yeah, but then it deletes the whole thing. It'll delete all the work we just did. That's what I'm saying. It looks like you can't select individual flexible combiners. Like you can't say, hey, Flexi 1, Flexi 2, Flexi whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because once you select English units, it's doing every single flexible combiner for English Unit 1, English Unit 2. You know what I'm saying? So it looks like, unless someone wants to yell at me tomorrow or whenever this posts, that we screwed up and no, you're wrong. So let's just go back. So if we go just regular back to startup layout, gear, startup layout.
Ryan is going to chastise us for this later.
Oh, 100%.
But no, even at that though, like you could still do everything, and it's what you need, and that's what you want to be able to pull up. But again, if you made your own tab and put it under other, then you only had that flexible combiner. It would only show that stuff on the screen.
Yeah. So the other thing about this is, so once I hit edit, when we did the flexible combiner, we also did table. So if you want to do a graph of those things, I wonder if it'll do it from here. Oh, there we go. Look. Okay, so start up Flexi. And then you, okay, so you can graph into, oh, okay, I see what it's doing. It's, if you do it on the table, then it's just going to give you whatever you put in there. Now, we did the English unit, so it's just whatever's in there. We would have had to actually go to the whatever AI1 was or whatever. But on this, you can actually select, use application points. Use selected points. Okay. Yeah. Why is it not coming down? Start a Flexi graph. Do graph. I thought it would give everything there. Apparently not.
It's probably only going to let you graph what points are
that are actually in.
Yeah, so it's.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense because they're not. We didn't program any of it in.
We didn't program the points in, so they're not active points.
Ah, lame. All right, so if I go back, I wonder if I go back here, start up, edit.
It's gonna be more of a video podcast.
That's all right. Flexible combiner.
I didn't realize this because I don't ever listen to the podcast.
Yeah.
Like I didn't realize the video shows up in Spotify.
No, it does. So I yeah, if anyone doesn't know that, because I had 6 people start texting me. They're like, "Do you know your podcast is coming up twice?" I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "One is an audio and one's a video." So I wonder if I could just put a number in here.
I seen that too yesterday. I was looking up something for somebody, and I was like, "The hell is it on here twice for?" I go, "Would Brett fuck up?" Then I have to realize one of them's video.
Yeah, I did that on purpose because I was like, a bunch of people are like, "Rogan's on there. How comes you don't have a video podcast?" I'm like, that's a really good question. So I was like, all right, let me see what I can do.
We don't make $52 million an episode. Rogan does.
Very true. Very true. Okay, so I wonder if that I actually change the inputs to numeric values. I'm wondering if it'll do it now. So if I go back to,
You got to set up graphic logging on each one of those points too. Also, because you don't have logging set up on the points.
I do not.
You're gonna set the log up. So
Right.
go to the gear.
Go
to
logging groups.
Yep.
Okay, base log.
Yep. And find that value that.
It has a lot of memory. Should you just do it all?
Sure, why not?
How long is it going to take? We'll see.
I don't know. Do it.
Just everything looks firmware flexible component. Oh, everything's already actually selected. Startup Flexi. There we go.
Yep. So
and then save.
And then now it should display it in there. It's probably not because you didn't have points set up. It's probably because the logging wasn't set up.
All right, so let's try it one more time so we can.
Tiles, not the tiles. You want to go to the
gear.
Go to layout, startup layout.
Okay, that's just that. All right, so now if we go back to edit.
But you gotta go forward hooked up to it, so it's not gonna have any values to log.
No, I know. I'm gonna see if it'll take it now. Nope, not that. Graph. And then start up Flexi. Ah, there we go. Hold on, let's see if it does it now. Oh, it did it. Oh, yay.
Yeah, that's how you can make an easy startup flex combiner for this and then display it on the screen. And then obviously with this on the startup screen, you want to add the suction group in, and then you want to add the iPro in, and that's going to give you the majority of the data you're going to need.
Yeah,
I mean, you don't got to make it super fancy.
Yeah, liquid temp, suction, blah, 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 blah. There's a discharge temp in there and discharge pressure in there somewhere. And then we had compressor, something or other. Compressor, analog output, like the percentage. Oh, that's already in there.
Now, what else would be nice in this layout screen, like a separate one, is the valve percentage, the superheat, and evaporator temperature of every circuit. That's what we do on microthermal. We have a screen in there with all the cases, all the case controller data, and it's a table. And what we do is we take it and we make a table across, and it's got discharge air temp or whatever the box temp is. Then it's evaporator pressure, evaporator temp, or leaving suction temp, superheat, and valve percentage. So you can look at that screen on startup while you're starting up everything, bounce back and forth and be like, okay, that case is messed up. That case says 500 pounds. I know that line switch to the liquid line, whatever. Or I can look at it and be like, oh boy, that EEV says 0% and it's blasting 0 degrees of superheat.
Or the apprentice adjusted the expansion valve to 0 degrees. That could be another thing too.
Yeah. Or the pins are bent on the valve and nobody ever checked it on startup.
Yeah, it happens too.
It happens a lot.
On those big jobs.
Not even on the big jobs, on the small ones.
Oh yeah. I don't know if they connect, if the factory, they just on Friday, that's the Friday job.
They just jam it in there is what they do, that M12 connector. Doesn't matter if it's Sporlan, Danfoss, Carell, whatever. They just slam that M12 connector in there and just tighten her down with a pair of channel locks.
Yeah. Yeah, and try to make it as tight as difficult. Did I tell you that I invoked your name the one time when I was out in California? Thinking about that. So someone was asking a question in one of the classes. They were asking about what happens on a rack shutdown, and someone gave some bad information. So I was like, oh, I raised my hand very slowly, and he's like, go ahead. And I was like, yes, in the words of Kevin Compass, yes, they do shut down, because otherwise you will send that flash tank to Jesus.
Yeah, but in the end, like, sometimes they don't.
But yeah, this is really helpful. So what the hell, do you even know what this is? I don't even want to ask, but what is snap to page?
Snap the page makes it all fit the page nicely.
Oh.
Instead of you being able to adjust it, it's you could snap it all to the page where it's all nice.
So where's the other data that we did? Oh no, because did we change?
You changed it.
Oh, I changed the table. That's right.
Yeah, you changed it to the table.
All right, so let me go back in here one more time, then we'll cut it. But all right, so go back to the gear, go back to startup layout, go back to edit. Okay, startup flexi gear. Oh, okay, that's why, because I changed it to that. So I wonder if I just do table then, and then I go. Oh,
Yeah, category.
Yep, other.
No, yeah.
See, I wish it just did individuals, but okay. So then we can go to the actual analog inputs. Where? Am I blind? Why not? Oh, inputs. And then analog outputs, and then hopefully this is mine. Yeah, no, it doesn't matter. It's going to be mine anyway. All right. And hit OK. And then hit save. So you can either have a table, or you can either have the graph, or you can actually have the physical numbers in each one of these sections. It looks like you can't have both.
All right, let's do something else on this real quick.
Let me just show what happened now.
I want to see if we could do this.
Okay. All right.
Should go to your screen and see what it looks like. So we'll go to the startup layout.
So there's that, and then down at the bottom here's where all the flexis are here.
Okay. Go. I want to make a new layout real quick. I want to try something.
Oh, it has it right here. This is the same shit we made, except for we put it in refrigeration.
But I want to try something real quick.
Okay. Tell me what to do.
So go to make a new layout.
Make a brand new one.
Yep.
Okay.
So go to gear.
Go in gear.
Go to
layout manager.
Go to
create new layout.
Yep.
Okay.
Layout name. Just make it valves. Oh my God, you're so.
Anyway, go ahead. Next one.
So make it just add. Okay, go.
You want a table or graph?
Table.
Table. Yeah, because you want to do the circuits, right?
Yep. So refrigeration, and then we want to do
circuits.
Yeah, but is it? It's going to be XMs or?
I think they're the. This is the EXD 22s that were programmed into it. You know what I mean?
So you're going to have to go to those.
Okay, so yeah, that's the problem. This doesn't have. Oh wait, there it is.
So you're going to go to outputs.
Oh yeah, because it's going to be data, right?
Yep. Go to outputs.
I'm blind. Sorry.
Good.
Coil, valve, pressure, superheat, device state. Yeah, most of this shit's reefer active. You want reefer active?
Yep. So this is actually nice because this would pull all of them at the same time. So if you had CC200s, it would pull all the data, or whatever you're using, it would pull all the data at the same time. So you would have everything in that table.
Yeah, it would be nice. And then you could snap it to the screen. It doesn't have any data because I don't think it's probably not pulling anything right now.
This is easy. This is super easy. Whatever this store had, it probably had. This was out of a.
This was the trainer, so it had 2 circuits.
Oh, yeah. So yeah, no. If you literally pulled this, say you were at a Target and you had core links, like you would pull all the core link data like that. You would pull all of it. You could have all that on one screen, so you can go into that layout screen and see it right away. Like this is how I would set it up, because that way you could see right away if this suction pressure. You're such an asshole. This suction pressure is reading 355. The next one's reading 575.
You could see the pressure drop in the pipe or whatever from a valve overheating.
Or there's an issue with that transducer. It's got the wrong sticker on it, like the 50 that we found like that.
So I guess you could also all right. So if we were to snap this back, you could actually then make. Let's see if we go to the gear again. And we go back to this one, and then we hit edit. We could actually add another one, right? Another table, and then we could do refrigeration again. You know what? This would be really helpful with HVAC too. You could actually put all that shit, all discharge air. Is it active? What stage is active? You can put all that shit in there so you can see if, okay, this one's running the same as this one, right? So we already did the other circuits. Now you could do basically the XM circuits, right? Yep. And then do the same shit. So go back to outputs. Oh, I just selected like everything. Let's not select everything. Let's be selective. All right. So control temp. Do you want the active set? Yeah, active set point would probably be useful.
Not active set point, I would think. I would just say control temp. Control temp, valve percentage, superheat, evaporator pressure,
Slow down.
Come on, be faster. Snap.
I'm trying. Okay, so hold on. Case alarm out, no. Product temperature, no. Stop defrost. Which one? I don't see superheats and such, unless it's like I see refrigeration active.
I think it's going to be an output, but I'm trying to remember where it is.
Let me just go to inputs. There we go. That's where it is. So you could do your freaking term temp if you got freezers, right? Product temperature. What the fudge? Product temperature. Active set point. Let's go to performance, see what's all there. FOM. I don't know what FOM is. Okay, set points. Oh, case temp set point. And then let's see what's in general. Fan mode. The fans are cycling off and on, the bastard. Defrost type. Nope, don't care. Case temps. Oh, there we go. Case temp. Let's just say 1, 2, 3. I don't ever see any more than like 3 cases on a lineup anymore with like case controllers, unless you're unless you're
6.
Unless you're dealing with the one that runs with busman, you're right, because they have 3 coils in each. Okay, case states, compressor status, don't care. Where the hell's the valve stuff? Where's the valve stuff? Suction group, enhanced suction group. We already have the. Where is it, Kevin? Defrost states. Defrost status. That's not it. Defrost times, don't care. Long name, case name, lights, clean, failsafe. You might want the cleaning switch in there.
Maybe.
Well, no, hear me out. So if something is intermittently, you know how like typically the enables are all wired together? If you have a break in something where it's causing X amount of cases to go, you can see if it's the lineup that's happening.
Only one customer uses that. The Bullseye store is the only one that uses the shutdown like that.
Nope.
I've never seen anybody else do it.
Publix.
Wow.
Publix does that.
Like Walmart and Sam's is just using software enables.
Really?
Yep. And the MOPs on the valve on the controllers.
See, I think that should be used all the time.
I agree. The MOPs should be used all the time.
Because instead of losing like the whole rack, like if you have a compressor that goes down, at least if you have one compressor go down and maybe you have 1 or 2 cases that just keep shutting off because the suction pressure keeps rising above to where that MOP is, and then you still keep the integrity of the other shit that you have. I don't see the valve percentage on here at all. Unless I'm being dumb. Look at your screen. Come on. Advanced alarms, associations.
What is this? This is XM.
Oh, that's why I have.
Yeah, it's just an XM circuit. You got to go to XM. You got to pull it off of the actual device.
Oh, damn it. So I did this one wrong. Okay. Let's just go to this one then. Okay, here we go. All right, boo. Sorry. All right, so now I can go to, let's see, defrost probe A. Not that I'm going to do this in this order, but fan status, fan mode, fan probe. There we go. Outputs. There we go. This is the stuff I'm looking for. Superheat out of range. No. Valve percent. There we go. Valve percent. Superheat. There we go. Better stuff. PB6. That's coil out pressure, right?
No, PB6 is coil out temp.
Oh, temp. That's right. Which is the pressure. Active superheat set point. I don't care. Where the hell's the pressure? Because I would love to see the pressure on there.
So your pressure is going to be PB5.
Oh,
PB5 temp. So
there it is. Colin pressure.
Colin pressure. And then you want Colin temp too.
I got Colin temp.
Oh, that's coil out temp. So PB5. Go scroll down. Scroll down. It's on the far right hand side towards the bottom. So PB5 temp.
There we go. So I think that's it. I think it's everything.
Did you get probe 1 temp? Your discharge air temp? Scroll down. Second column, first one.
Probe 1. There we go. Now I do.
Did you get evaporator pressure?
Yeah. That's the Colin pressure.
They also have it as evaporator pressure down below.
Where?
Like 6 from the bottom. Go down. Right above humidity. Below humidity. Up, right there.
Mother of... Are you freaking serious? Okay. All right. Damn it. So I don't need to use Colin pressure. All right. Okay.
So that right there, that's how you could set up. You could do separate tiles. So you could do one for XM circuits, or you could do one for low temp, one for medium temp.
Yeah. And then you could see if they're all going off at the same time. That's why I like having the enable on there. So then if I go... All right. So let me go back to home screen. And I go back to the gear, and then I go Kevin is a boss, and then there we go. Now I have all the probies that I needed. It's pretty badass.
No, that's way easier for startup, and then having it, like, to be honest, like, I would like to see that for service. Yeah, the tile menus are nice and they're super easy to look through, but if I'm looking at that for service, I definitely want to have all those valve percentages readily available. Then going into each tile one by one, you could expand the tiles. Like the CC200s are nice because you could expand the tiles, you could see them.
Yeah, not like what we did for this, but if you were to do that on an XM or whatever, that tile would freaking be huge depending on how much shit that you're displaying on there.
Correct.
And then you have every single one. So like you said, you could actually use it for a diagnostic tool. You could see if you have in that screen where you see the pressure go up and down, you can figure out what the hell's going on. Maybe there's the valves overfeeding, whatever. Like you could use it to see what the other ones are doing in that lineup if you put them in that order.
Correct. That's where it gets a little bit easier.
Yeah. With
that stuff.
I feel more confident now. I haven't really gotten to play with this nearly as much as I do. So it's...
No, I haven't either. I've been in and out of Sam's Clubs messing with stuff. And obviously you don't really get to make that startup menu because we're not doing it, but I'm going to start because we have a technician login. I'm going to get them to make that for the technician login. It's so much better.
If they would just start doing that, if you convince them, if anyone's listening for any of the major stores that are using the E3, like having some of these layouts made for technicians so it's easier to diagnose. Shit, you can even, but also utilizing it, like you said, like making one custom for, like we said, the flexible combiner and stuff, where you can actually see like whatever's going on with the iPro, have all the information there for the iPro.
No, I completely agree. It's not having it is a pain in the ass, to be honest to you.
It's going to be on this controller forever. Kevin is a boss. Hey,
technically you're the boss.
Get the hell out of here. All right. On that note, it's already been an hour, guys. We're going to get out of here. We'll talk to you guys soon.